Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here again at Solana, see what's going on. That tentative support at 250 did not hold. And what do? When a support level doesn't hold, you wait it out, or you consider short if confirming factors are there. So we're going to look, see if we have those factors right now. At this point, it's pretty easy to say that Bitcoin's pulling back. I mentioned this yesterday too here. If you caught my analysis on Saturday for Bitcoin, you'll know that we were expecting the price action to recover and reject off that point in control about 99,000 range, okay? That did that, of course, we can see that now. And the truth is Bitcoin is pulling back to its potential support range at 93 to 95K. All right, we have a descending broadening wedge pattern, generally a bullish sign. We just got to make sure the price action bottoms out first before we just jump into a long. So again, all that being said, I'm mentioning that because that's potentially positive here for Bitcoin, but more importantly, potentially positive for Solana too. But as you can see here, if you look, Solana, Bitcoin, it's pretty similar in a lot of ways, okay? So we're just gonna identify some key level supports, resistances, kind of see, just kind of, if it's worthwhile taking a trade right now. My personal opinion is no, it's not. Quick congrats though to our committee for our Bitcoin short on Saturday, 26% in roughly 48 hours there. Again, that's just a 10x leverage trade, kind of a tight margins, not getting too crazy because again, the bottom could be in at 95,000 for Bitcoin. If that's the case, then you want to be very careful. But I just kind of like to highlight that because people need to understand that you can still find plenty of success with low leverage trades and not be another statistic, because high leverage, folks, it's the reason why liquidation occurs. And it's exactly the reason why, these events that we take a look at are very common. Okay, so don't be another statistic. That's all there is to it. Okay, so we look at the last 7 days, we can see a chunk of liquidation longs at about 228 to 229. If we pull up the, let's see here, let's go ahead. Let's pull this up here. Let's go with the last 12 hours and kind of see if there's any indication of further liquidation levels. We can see closer ones, some late longs here. This is basically a high leverage long, 70 million at about 238. So 238 is probably going to be hit here in just a moment, as well as again 236, 234. So easy to remember, a lot of round numbers there. 238, 236, and 234 are those tentative areas of liquidation, okay? So hypothetically, the price continues to pull back. Where should we experience a bottom out? Well, a lot of times you start to see the price bottom out when the point of control, the local amount of volume is starting to get hit. And that's right here at 238 to 242. We've talked about that being a previous support range. Now that we're there, we're gonna have to presume it holds until it doesn't. Obviously, we're going to look at other factors too, and we're not just going to blindly take longs at that position. But we can see here our liquidation delta is drawing even. It's pretty close to zero, which implies longs and shorts are equally in the market, which also tells us we're in a transition. And oftentimes, you don't trade transitions until an established direction is provided, right? So I don't know. Like, to me, it makes a lot more sense to go with the grain when the grain is established instead of being like, oh, I got a 50-50 shot at either direction. Maybe I'm just going to flip a coin. That's what gamblers do, and I don't recommend gambling in this market. Anyways, 249 is that point of control / local open interest. So people are the heaviest at 249, secondary to that 246 and 244. So just know these are going to be resistances for us if the price does recover. Okay, so that's all the more reason why you don't just take a long in the blind or take a long because it's a price point you originally thought was a good idea a couple days ago. 2 days ago, 250 sounded like a good idea. Now it's a terrible, terrible call, right? That's how fast things change. That's how you got to adapt and learn to adjust with the market though. Okay, so the weekly time frame, let's quickly address this here. Bitcoin was exuding and still is, same thing with Solana as well. We're at a 9 on TD sequential, so we're 1 week into overtime. So it makes sense that this week is going to be a profit-taking week. We're so far almost printing a bearish engulfing candle if we go any lower. So the concept here is that we are 9 weeks of continuation with very little correction. I wouldn't say without. There was some here in the 150 to 160 range, but it would make sense for the price to continue to pull back based on that overall sentiment. Okay, so please recognize that. Now, when we take a look here at the weekly, of course, everything else is going to be bullish. However, we do have a stochastic divergence. Bitcoin is printing a very similar circumstance here, letting us know that the shift in momentum is occurring. It's not a guarantee the price is going to drop like a rock. It just tells us that, hey, we got to pay attention. We got a second stochastic swing to the downside. This is technically the first here for Solana, so it may not be monumental, but it's still present, letting us know like the early signs are in that we might be seeing the price pull back. I'm not super subscribing to that concept. I'm just letting you know that that's there. and that's a very real thing. Daily time frame is going to exude mostly bullish behavior here still, even though we're pulling back. And you can see we're above all moving averages. We're now under 70 in the RSI, which is good. It's finally cooling down. So money flow index is pulling back. These are all good things, by the way, folks. You got to recognize when prices pull back, it allows for volume to accumulate at different levels and build that support. So for the moment, I'm not super concerned. We do have a MACD divergence again on the daily. Bitcoin is exuding the same exact behavior. So at this point, we got to give Bitcoin a chance to hold this $95,000 range, right? Same thing with Solana too. In this case, give it a chance to hold its 240 to 230 range. Again, they're both performing very similar. However, let's take a quick look here at the 4-hour time frame, see if there's any shifts in momentum. We're under the 20 and the 50-day SMA. It's always construed as a not so good sign. Bitcoin, by the way, is printing, again, a descending broadening wedge pattern, so there's potential for it to be bottoming out here soon. And if so, we should see a relief rally to the 97, 98K range. I'm mentioning that because we're seeing a very similar type of pattern here. Again, I'll post this playout chart in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, but generally speaking, when you see a descending broadening wedge, which I think that we are seeing that here as well, I'll clean it up and I'll post that shortly, is just, it's important to recognize the bottom is getting closer to being in. I don't think it's a guarantee, but this area, we have a decent amount of volume between 230 and 240 as a rough estimate. And then also with the type of lower lows and lower highs we're printing, you can only do that for so long before the bottom starts to find itself. Having said that, though, we're still not totally bottomed out yet. We still got more room for downside. Generally speaking, you want to take a long or feel like considering a long when the price action hits 30 on the RSI and 20 on the MFI. Okay, so basically there hasn't been enough money flowing away from this coin for people to feel like it's a good enough value to buy. That's generally what that's telling us there. Hourly time frame is going to confirm this as well. And again, I already showed you the highlight there for the Ichimoku cloud from yesterday when I sent that post for Bitcoin. Similar circumstance here as well. Only difference is Bitcoin peaked above the cloud, kind of faked a lot of people out for some late longs at 99K, and then of course pulled back. This one, Solana, all the proof is here letting you know that you shouldn't have taken a long in the first place. There is no reason to take a long with Solana, even though I'm sure some folks bought the dip at 250. It's a different story if it's a spot bag, but if you're taking a leverage play there on a weekend when Bitcoin's pulling back, it just doesn't make a ton of sense, right? It's easy to say now, I totally get that. But I did highlight the fact that we want to treat 250 with respect, give it a chance to hold first. If it holds, great. If it doesn't, then figure something out. But the truth is, with Bitcoin pulling back, or just looking like it's shifted its momentum, you don't really want to take a long into that. I know a lot of altcoins performed very well here recently, and I think a lot of people got kind of tricked out with Friday being such a monumentally green day for a lot of alts. But today is that natural, take profits on a profitable weekend kind of thing. So just normal. Anyways, hourly time frame, we're below the cloud, conversion lines below the baseline, lagging spans now free and clear, essentially implying that you're going to find more success taking a short than you will along with this coin. Now, I don't recommend a short at this point because it feels like we are getting closer to its bottom. Well, again, it's not a guarantee by any stretch. We're starting to work our way down here. Okay, so again, this wedge here is starting to broaden. While it's not perfect, it is kind of letting us know that we are on the way down. We got a descending trend, establishing lower highs and lower lows. Until that shift occurs, you don't take a long. Okay, in other words, we want to see range-bound activity followed by higher highs and higher lows. That hasn't happened yet. We're still in the downtrend. So why take a long right now without confirmation? It makes no sense, right? Now, again, I'm sure I'm going to eat my words 9 times out of 10 as soon as I upload these videos. Bitcoin or Solana, for example, in this case, shoots straight up afterwards. But that's not how trading's supposed to work. You got to understand that. If you took the long right now and you are in profit, then you got lucky. That's really the easy way to understand it. And again, you want to take luck out of the equation because that's always a 50-50 chance. You take the technical analysis, everything's telling us the price is going down until it doesn't. You want to presume it will continue, right? And the only way to presume it doesn't continue or to confirm it won't continue is to see the price go sideways in a range and or establish itself with higher highs and higher lows. So literally until we get back up over 255, the local point of control, we have no reason to take it along, right? And again, I'm not saying to wait till a level to take along because it'll probably be a lot different level once the price establishes bottom. But between now and then, you just got to be patient and not be an emotional idiot. It's really that simple. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Deeply appreciate it. Make sure you check out our Bitunix link down below. These guys are awesome. We got a healthy prize pool, 60K amongst the top 20 traders. So check that out. You can still qualify if you want to start right now. And of course, jump on over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll go ahead and post our playout chart here shortly. That'll probably be available by the time you see my video. Okay. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. Look forward to seeing the next one. Be safe out there. Take care.